At this time, I'll call the regular meeting to order for the Dickson County Commission, July 8th, 2021. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On our agenda, we just have one item to add, and it is a resolution to make an appointment for county appraiser. And with that one additional resolution, I would move that we approve the agenda as printed.
I'll second that.
We have the motion and the second for approval of the amended agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the July 1st meeting, also payroll of $323,459.07 and abatements of $325.30.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second. We have the motion and the second for approval of the consent agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We'll go to commission comments. And Ron, do you have any comments?
Just like to say that I'm glad the weather's holding up for the producers to go out there and harvest the grains. The summer's rolling along pretty safe. Roads are doing good out there and everybody's working well. So like to thank everybody for their hard work.
Okay, thank you. Craig?
Yes, I'll be coming back in the Stroh Hall on Monday to NDIC, which is a drug court, the 8th Judicial District. I did get a text this morning from one of the people up that's in Prairie Hill that thanked the county for working up there and getting the road in better shape than it was. I'm not sure what she was responding to, but I imagine it was probably 3400 Avenue between Rain Road and Trail Road. That's all I have, Lynn. Oh, I'm sorry. I will be attending the kickoff July 13th for the Dickson County Economic Development Corporation. I'll get in touch with them, RSVP to them.
Okay, and I have also RSVP to that, so we'll want to put that on our website notification, and that's going to take place, as Craig mentioned, July 13th over at Chapman, and I think they're going to have a good meeting, a good turnout. I also attended the 4-H, Friends of 4-H Appreciation. And actually, you mentioned Fragrant Hill. They had door prizes, which each 4-H group comes up with. And the one from Fragrant Hill was the one that they drew my name, and I ended up with that. And so ended up with a watermelon and some things to make some spaghetti with. But anyway, it was a nice event and a good recognition for them. The attendance maybe was slightly less than usual, and I think some of that had to do with there are still people that are in harvest, and it's usually harvest is a family event. I mean, from what I've heard, harvest has been reasonably gone well, and so hope the best that continues. Earlier today, we had a meeting of department heads and just kind of heard from some of the things that are going on in the county and some of the updates. And of course, one of the things we did discuss too was the upcoming Central Kansas Free Fair. And it was mentioned too, the Tri-County Fair is going on right now. So there's a lot going on. I do not have any other comments. We do not have any petitions or proclamations. So we're at the point, if someone did have a public comment, this would be your opportunity to make a comment, and you'd need to identify yourself and your address, and also limit to 5 minutes or less if you did have a comment. So we do not have any public comments at this time, so we'll go ahead and move on to the reports of county officers. Brad?
Okay, we'll start out with the year-to-date staffing reports. And Diane, you got your packet. As we talked in the work session, you can see we've had a few teams and staffing in various departments reflected there. So I guess it's great time of year and the way things are going, but we do still have some openings in several departments. And we got one in the appraiser's office, one in the EMS, one in the clerks. So anybody that might be interested in employment, we would certainly encourage them to go to our website and look that over. Or if you know someone that might be interested, pass that word along. Under the budget reports from Janelle, I'll just call attention to the sales tax collections. I think during the month of April, we set a record for our sales tax, both our special and our county sales tax. County sales tax is $140,500, which is the highest that we've had in a month for several years. Accordingly, the special sales tax came in at $133,980, so just $19.84 short of $134,000. And the next highest month we had last year to that was June at $130,000. So sales tax is knocking them dead, and that's a good report to see. So these people are continuing to shop at home. The car dealership's apparently doing good. You know, I have a family member that bought one from up here, so the first vehicle she's ever bought, she donated to the sales tax. So our construction meeting Tuesday, actually, now in your package, you've got my notes from that meeting, which are rather long. I won't go through every one of them, but just to highlight in the new jail, we're looking at 3 to 4 weeks before it'll be done, and we'll be able to move the inmates over. We're on the final countdown of wiring up some of the doors, getting some of the electrical stuff done and completed. Painter said that he had about 10 days from this time last week till he was all done over there. So that's good information. They're working on, and they got ordered the second generator that we worked out for the courthouse side of it. We'll be working on that wiring, and that the cost of all that, I think I told you, will be paid for by our electrical engineer because of some errors they made. So I don't know what else to highlight. Construction on the courthouse itself is moving along nicely. Plumbing and electrical is getting installed in the walls on the main floor and in the basement. And then they will sheet rock those walls. Everything's just progressing very well. The question I get the most of is when will it be done? I hope to hear about the end of July, which is not too far away. Have our open house for the jail scheduled and get that done so we can move inmates in, and then we can start the demolition on the top floor of the old jail. Right now, the estimated time frame from Lloyd Builders is still showing the middle of October for the courthouse. Could come sooner. It could go later too. I hope it doesn't go any later. I hope we see that come sooner, but only time will tell how things progress. We did get word back from the elevator company, and this has kind of been a problem since day one on the courthouse. You know, if you remember, they originally submitted a bid to Lloyd Builders in the bidding process to replace the elevator and do all that for X dollars. Then they came back several months after we actually started to work and said, oh, wait a minute, we can't do that. The elevator shaft is too narrow to put a traditional elevator in there. So we have to rescind our bid and look at other options. So Lloyd Builders has been working with them. Now they come back and said, well, we think we can retrofit the elevator that's there, replace all the electronics, replace the hardware, the mechanisms and everything, and use the same carriage. And there's a company in Kansas City that specializes in going in and redoing things like that, make them look modern. Whether they sandblasted and painted, or whether they put new panels inside the stainless steel panels and wood bearing panels and whatever. So we're looking at that. The good news is it'll probably be considerably less than the original bid. The bad news is we're getting late in the game here, so it's liable to hold it up because we can't open the courthouse without an elevator to get to the top and bottom floors. So, but we're working on that as we speak, and that's going to be challenging, but we'll work through it. The last thing I would mention is if you've driven by there since yesterday, the south parking lot concrete has been put down on the north half of it. And tomorrow morning at 3 a.m., the crews will start putting down the second half of it on the south side of the parking lot. And it will be done for the most part at that point. We'll give it a few days to cure, and first next week they will open it back up, and we'll be able to get some of that parking utilized for the county staff that are working. That's pretty much an update on the project, unless you have any questions. We just got a lot of moving parts going on there. I know Keeping Chancey and I'm very busy just trying to keep up with everything that's going on. So a lot of little questions coming up. A good example today, we had a meeting in the sheriff's conference room yesterday, and there's a little corner of the wall that kind of sticks out there, and chairs are really boogering up like on the corner there, the corner next to Doug. And I told the contractor, I said, we only been in here 6 months and that's already kind of chewed up that thing. We need some type of protection on those extruded corners of the sheetrock. Apparently it wasn't thought about, but obviously it's going to be a problem. In 6 months, we see that damage on that corner. Looks like it looked like in 6 years. They agreed. So Tom came through this morning. He said, I found 26 locations where we have an external corner, and we're ordering up little stainless steel protectors to go on there. And just little things like that that come up every day that we see that you would have not thought about in a million years, but now that we're living it and seeing it, it needs to be done to help prolong the life of things. So not huge issues, but it would be if the corner of the wall is gone in 6 years. So. Yesterday, I attended a meeting with Chuck Scott and Ron Morris, the city manager from Abilene, over at Salina, Great Plains Manufacturing. Also in the meeting were representatives from the city of Salina and Saline County. And the theme of the meeting, and it was called by Great Plains, the purpose was to try and start brainstorming options on housing in our area. As you know, Great Plains West facilities in Abilene, they went through their program and they're dumping millions of dollars into these facilities in Salina and Abilene, buying equipment and expanding their programs with Kubota. One of the things that they can't buy is staff. And they're going to have, originally they had 250 positions for the Abilene West facility over the next couple of years. That's increased to probably close to 400 that they're looking at now. They have also taken on now a construction equipment line. They have their Land Pride, the Great Plains for the rural or ag companies. Land Pride is for more of lawn tractors and mowers and things. And now they're taking on the CE line, which is the construction equipment, a whole different factory they're putting in somewhere in the southern part of Kansas. So, and in Jamie Hall's words yesterday, he said, I know how to build a factory. I know how to put things together to make things, build things. I don't know how to build people. We need your help because we have identified a tremendous shortage when it comes to housing. We've got people coming in and wanting to move to the area and go to work for us. Problem is that our positions that we're hiring for pay more than what some of the lower income housing will allow them to take advantage of. And so we kind of brainstormed, had some real good conversations. Department of Commerce was there, and several representatives of the state. Senator Moran's aide, Kristen, was there as well. And so we spent a couple hours brainstorming about different options and came away with some things that we want to look at and see if we can come up with some really creative ways of helping make it attractive to get a contractor in to start building homes. Obviously, Abilene has the Highlands that's prime for doing something like that. It's not very often that you have a location that has all the infrastructure already in place. And so we'll see how that pans out, and we'll work with the city on that. And then also I'm sure continue to keep the Old 40 Northwest 14th corridor on your table as far as identifying how we can advance that section out through there. The bridge we talked about, working with the city and trying to promote that corridor for not only industry, but residential growth as well. So. And then the last thing I had is I had provided you a copy in your packet of the resolution that's required if you decide to exceed the revenue neutral rate with the 2022 budget. It's a very generic resolution that Jay Hall with the KC had sent out to all of us to plagiarize and utilize if we decide to do that. So I give that to you just for review between now and the budget hearing. So that's all I've got.
Okay. Doug?
No, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go to notices and communications then, and we did have a few there from the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, and it's actually from Lee Norman, so that's also under his review. And this is for the city of Chapman, and they are being issued a permit for a new non-discharging facility. And so that's something that we'll have on record that they have sent out. We also had a magazine, Water and Wastewater, Small Community Perspectives, that we had received. And then we also had a letter questioning why we were under, when the state had lifted, not finding the letter right now, the state had lifted their requirement on the county state disaster, and the county, we still have ours in place, and that they disagree with that decision by the county commission. And of course, in our department head meeting this morning, that was something that Chancey Smith had mentioned, that there are some advantages to having that county level order in place, and that sometimes we can utilize that. We don't necessarily have to have a declared state disaster, but there's some advantages to doing that. So anyway, we welcome the comments that we received on that. That's all I had. Was there anything else that anyone else had received?
I've not received it.
So moving on, we did have one resolution that we did add to the agenda, and it's resolution number 070821. And this is a resolution for reappointing a Dixon County appraiser. And so we have Lisa Berg that we would offer that position to. And we had a retirement that had taken place, so that position was open. And it just says that she would be subject to the same rules and regulations as any Dixon County employee, with annual performance and salary reviews and benefits as detailed within the Dixon County Employee Handbook. So is there a motion to adopt that resolution to appoint Lisa Berg, Dixon County appraiser?
So moved.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and the second to adopt resolution 070821, and that would appoint Lisa Berg as our Dixon County appraiser. Any other discussion or question?
Yeah, I would like to make a comment that we did follow all the procedures to putting that job out to the public, right?
We did. We put that out for a week, and we did get one application in, or one applicant.
Correct.
That we had received the same applicant on prior jobs within the department, but that person had been interviewed before, so we did not interview this time. So.
Okay. Any other comment or question? All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We do not have any unfinished business or other business. Is there anything else anyone would want to bring up before we adjourn?
Move we adjourn.
I'll second
We
that.
have the motion and the second to adjourn. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We're adjourned.